Hi guys, welcome along. My name's Mikas, for those who don't know. I'm not really a big YouTuber, but I will be doing some Pokemon Go videos very soon. I've finally got iOS 11 on my device, and for those who don't know, iOS 11 records the phone screen. She's happy. This is Coriander, by the way. You want to go for walks? She's happy. We're going to start a Pokemon Go series. Man, this little one. Could be my wife with me, but yeah. Are you happy? High five? High five. Yeah. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. Off you go. Okay, so today I want to talk about the Yokohama event, and I want to keep away from any other videos. I don't want to bash down other YouTubers. There was a lot that was being said. Not all of the event was peaches and cream like everyone thought that it was. Not everyone got a Mewtwo. Not everyone, the spawns weren't that crazy. Not compared to like Santa Monica Pier, which is every single day of the year. Mystic released a statement saying, I don't know where all this hate is from. Just to mention on that, there was lots of fighting going on in a lot of the comment sections on Twitter and also in YouTube. So I want to elaborate on that and read out a comment that I wrote regarding all the fighting and so on. Also, there's background noise because of the fan, and also there's a lot of roadworks, so I do apologize for that. But let's go back to the programming. These arguments, hate and fighting have to stop. People who didn't attend the event don't know the full story, only what Trainer Tips said in his video and what others said in their videos. So, it's been pretty broad. A lot of YouTubers, small name YouTubers, have released stuff stating facts that are not entirely true because of what hasn't been said or what has been said in the bigger YouTubers' videos. I don't think that Tips even knew as he was, instead of being outside talking to the 2 million fans outside the stadium, which he could have done after he got Mewtwo, he was inside wrapped in the excitement. So in other words, Trainer Tips Nick was inside the stadium catching Mewtwo, and I don't blame him. I think it was probably exciting for him, and he probably didn't realize that a lot of people were outside the stadium pretty much begging for help to get into the stadium. Those who won tickets, I think it's raining. I'll be right back. Okay, back. Sorry, it was raining outside and my wife's washing was outside. Had to bring that in. Okay, so yeah, as I was saying before, a lot of people didn't know what actually occurred. There were over 2 million players outside the stadium begging for tickets. For those who don't know, there was a lucky pick system where the people that were chosen could bring in 3 friends or 3 people. And a lot of people I saw people holding up signs saying, we will pay money if you take us in. Moving on, so yeah, Nick was inside the stadium. He was probably very excited to get Mewtwo, and it probably didn't actually cross his mind to go out and talk to people who didn't actually get Mewtwo. I think that would have been a good thing to do, as I think he's a fairly genuine person. I don't have hatred for Nick. I just didn't like his video stating that life's not fair and saying that all the people that went to the event got Mewtwo and you didn't, when in fact that's not entirely true. So I did continue on with, it's time to drop it and move on. And as for Reversal and FSU, neither of them were there and they didn't have a right to post the video. They posted a video on the event, about the event, and they didn't even go to the event. So they didn't have any right to post about the event. They could post, regarding like the game itself, but instead they decided to post based on the event. And FSU, of course, we know he's a troll, he's a troublemaker. He posted basically to attack trainer tips. Okay, so as I said, yeah, Reversal and FSU, neither of them had any right to post any video on the event itself. They were both just after views, and let Mystic have his say, and we can discuss it like adults, not animals. So I think Mystic has released, by the time that I've released this video, Mystic would have released it. But, you know, what's my dog doing? I think it's important to get the facts out. I'm going to go through what happened at the event. Okay, so I got there with only a few days left of the event. I spent over $1,000 to get to the event. I live in Japan, by the way. For those who don't know, I don't live close to Yokohama. I think it was like a 2-hour flight. But the one thing that people don't actually know is that the Pikachu festival is during Obon Week. Now, Obon Week is regarded as one of the busiest weeks of the year. It's like Christmas in Japan. Everyone, or nearly everyone, gets holidays, and of course they go back to their hometowns. And of course, Yokohama is a hometown to many people. So the flights go up, the accommodation goes up, and everything gets very expensive. In saying that, a lot of people are probably going to say, yeah, but Trainer Tips and Mystic, they all paid money to go there too. They paid international flights into Japan when most people were flying out of Japan or domestically. They are the flights that go up, the ones that fly out of Japan and the ones that fly domestically. Keeping that in mind, it was very expensive. I spent a lot of money to go to the event. I've got a very expensive bill right now, but I'll be able to pay that off, no problems. Also, I want to keep this in mind. I'm not paid by Niantic. I've got nothing to do with Niantic. You can see how many subscribers I have. You can see how many views I probably get, which is probably not that many. And if you want to support the channel, you can hit the like button or make a comment. I'm open to all comments. Just try and keep them civil. I don't like fighting, especially over Pokemon Go. The game was designed for, you know, a fair opportunity, and I know that the game's not fair. I really understand that. I know people in rural areas, and you know, they're higher level than me. They play the game more than me, obviously. My mother-in-law lives out in rural areas, so every year for Christmas time, there's nothing to catch, and there's 2 weeks of the year that I don't even play the game because I virtually just can't. There's just no spawns out there. So I really do understand. There has been an increase in stops, so just keep that in mind. They are working towards it, and this video is not supposed to be about rural players though. So I'll get to that another time. I'm going to do a video of being out in the rural areas and showing exactly what it's like for a rural player, and with the new tracking system, how much it disadvantages rural players because they took away sightings. So the event hosted over 2 million players, and over 2 million players were there for Pokemon Go. Now the system was a lucky pick system to join the event, and we all just had the assumption that it was either going to be like GoFest, where a legendary would be released, and then soon after it would be released to the public in the area, or it would be actual PvP, which is kind of what we thought it could have been because it was Pokemon Go Stadium. So there was a comment stated that, I don't remember it word for word, but it was something along the lines of life isn't fair, and I have Mewtwo, you don't. And people who traveled to Yokohama got Mewtwo, people who didn't travel didn't. And, you know, that is a completely unfair comment. People who went to Yokohama, if they did get Mewtwo, that is fair in my book. People who traveled, they have the right to get the legendary. They're supposed to be legendaries. They're not supposed to be commons. They're not supposed to be easy to get, like Moltres and Zapdos and even Lugia. They shouldn't be that easy. So why are we getting multiples? They should have perfect IVs. All of them should have perfect IVs, but only one
that you can catch. You know, it shouldn't be that easy to have 20 or 30 Lugias, which some people have. I'm guilty of it. I have 2. Yeah, only 2, because people in my area don't actually play so much. So I have only 2. In saying that, I'd prefer to have 1 good IV than having 2 or 20 of them, because Lugia is supposed to be legendary. There's only supposed to be 1 available in the game. That being said, over 95% of the population did not actually get Mewtwo. A lot of people were rejected from the stadium, and the stadium relied on a lucky pick draw. Now, I did mention on it before, but basically everyone went into the draw, everyone that actually applied for it, and they got a lucky pick. So basically Niantic chose the winners, and those winners could bring in 3 people. Only 3 people for each winner, of which you've got YouTubers that are stating that everyone in Yokohama for the event got Mewtwo. That's a very big misleading piece of information, because not everyone did. And that's probably where a lot of people are getting very angry with YouTubers stating that everyone got Mewtwo when they didn't. It's mainly anger towards Niantic. The way that they worked it, GoFest, basically everyone got it. And after the event, they made it 100% catch rate to everyone in the area. You know, Yokohama didn't have that. Only the people that went into the stadium walked out with Mewtwo. People who were actually in Yokohama, in Minato Mirai, they didn't get it. Majority of them didn't get Mewtwo. I think a lucky pick draw was the most terrible idea. It was an awful idea. For Niantic to come up with that, I mean, I don't know who came up with that, but they should lose their jobs, seriously. Not just YouTubers spent money. And a lot of people spent a lot of money. I know I was talking to people outside the stadium, and they were kind of disappointed. They were disappointed even more when they heard that YouTubers got a free pass. I mean, I understand that's a business opportunity for Niantic. They can promote the product, but then to have YouTubers come out and say things like that, and then having videos coming out with like maxing Mewtwo, that just sort of rubs salt into the wound. So I want to move off this because it's starting to make me not happy with the game. And, you know, I was really happy with the event. Overall, the event was quite good. There was some problems with the event. Of course, they weren't really problems that could be helped. There was a lot of lag. There was a lot of game crashes. There was lots of freezing. And there was, of course, lots of disconnections. In saying that, there were 2 million people at the event. You've got to expect stuff like that. There were times where drifting was so bad. I was sitting in Telly's Coffee after day 1 because all my batteries died and I had to charge up at least my phone. And, you know, I was drifting so much, I was across the other side of Yokohama at one stage. And I was like, there's no Pokestops, no Pokemon, nothing for a good 20 minutes. So in saying that, the spawns were good, but drifting was a big problem. The weather was absolutely terrible. It rained every day that I was there, and I believe that it rained every day in August until the day after I left, which was the day after Obon Week. It rained every day. It was heavy rain. The second day I was there, we really didn't do much because it was just heavy rain. But I did win this little guy here. Sleeping Pikachu. Pretty cool. So thank you to SoftBank for that, for hosting the photos, the pictures. They were moving pictures. You know, the Lucky Pick system is not a fair system. You know, if you want to make the game viable to all players, don't have a Lucky Pick system. That's just the worst idea ever. As I said, the weather was terrible. At times, I couldn't film because it was too wet. Yeah, it was just terrible weather. But in saying that, the spawns were great and the experience was good. There was no Pikachu parade, unfortunately for me. I was going on the last day for the Pikachu parade and it got cancelled. So instead, I ended up winning this little guy, and which is pretty cool, actually. I'm pretty happy with that. The Mr. Mime area where all the Mr. Mimes were, that was uncovered, so it was not under shelter. There was only 2 Pokestops in the area, I believe. I had no balls, so I didn't get a lot of Mr. Mimes. I got about, I think, 15 to 20 of them. It sometimes makes me think, would it have been better to go to Europe this week than go to Yokohama? But, you know, overall, I really enjoyed the event, with the exception of the Mewtwo being released and not given to people that attended the event, that spent money on the event, which isn't of YouTubers' fault, but their follow-up videos kind of rubbed the salt in, which is where a lot of people weren't happy. To say that Mewtwo is coming, which is going to happen, Mewtwo is coming to the game. Whether the system is a fair system or not, we have to wait and see. I don't think it is, especially when it's through raid systems, and currently the raid system is kind of broken for rural players. People that work, I work from very early in the morning to very late at night, and most days I don't actually get to raid. So today I've got to get going very soon in order to be able to get down to the city to try and catch my first Articuno. Yes, I missed Articuno because of raid system being changed. The curfew was changed. My thoughts on the event: pretty much, I really enjoyed the event. It was a good event, with the exception of the rain and the lag and technical problems that could not be really avoided. It was a good event. With the exception of Mewtwo, it was actually a good event. I really enjoyed it. Thoughts on legendaries? I believe that all legendaries should be exclusive to events. Events will happen more frequently. We can see already there's another 2. They're releasing Kangaskhan, which is kind of a little bit unfair to Australians who have not had an event, and their regional exclusive is now available in 3 continents, Europe and America, along with their country. They really need to release an event in Australia. Spread the love. America's had now got 3 events already. 3. You know, a lot of people are going to complain, oh, but they're spreading it around the world. Japan's had it all over Japan, and Europe's getting it all over Europe. Actually, they're select cities. Japan only had it in Yokohama. Yokohama is one city. It's not Tokyo, and they didn't actually have it in Yokohama. I stayed in Yokohama, and I had to walk 15 to 20 minutes in the rain to get to the station, and then I had to catch the subway to Minato Mirai, which is not a very big area, and it's only one area of Yokohama. That's where they had the event, not in actual Yokohama city. I think having events in locations and releasing legendaries in those events is a great idea. Lucky pick system is a terrible idea. Don't do it again, Niantic. Seriously, don't do it again. But having thousands of people gather to be able to join the event and to catch a legendary, that's a great idea. That's what was depicted on the release ad way back last year. So I'm all for releasing legendaries in that kind of way. For those who don't know, Niantic release at least 10 events around the world. They're different cities, different continents, different countries, you know, for Ingress. So I'm pretty sure this is just beta testing. They're pretty much trial and erroring, just trying to prepare for that with Pokemon Go. So just be patient. Mewtwo is coming. Whether he is fair or not, we have to wait and see. And we just have to petition it. We have to rebel about it and make Niantic understand it's not a fair system. We really need to stand together and unite. You know, Pokemon is all about friendships. It's all about caring for others. And we should be thinking about that. We shouldn't be thinking about how unfair the game is. And, you know, I understand. I really do. I know the game isn't fair. I'm going to leave it on this. The video's already so long. My computer's starting to slow down. And let's just keep it as that. Let's just make the most of it. At where I live, they're not really crazy spawns. You know, if a Snorlax appears at midnight, I run to get it. Just make the most of your situation. Sometimes there's a Snorlax and I'm headed to work, so I have to really make the decision whether I will go and get it or I just leave it because I had to go to work. That being said, I enjoyed Yokohama, don't get me wrong. I really enjoyed just the chain of events that happened after it. Had Niantic made it a fair system and I didn't go to it, there wouldn't have been any disappointment for me. Probably disappointment on myself, but I did go to it. I was at the stadium. I was talking to the thousands of fans that were outside the stadium disappointed. They didn't know what to do, you know? There was no communication by Niantic, and we all know that Niantic doesn't communicate. Trying to keep this as a positive note at the end, even though a lot of people were dissatisfied with the event, it was a good event. I did see some dancing Pikachu, which is my main purpose for going, actually. And, you know, overall, it was quite good. It was really good spawns, which made up for the weather. For those who did go, I'm sure they enjoyed themselves. It was just the chain of events that happened afterwards with Niantic and YouTubers promoting Niantic product. I'm going to finish the video here. I will be bringing more videos to you guys, hopefully with my dog. I'll have some videos, but a lot of them will probably be me on my way to work or on my way home from work, because I do work a lot. I do have a full-time job. YouTube doesn't pay any money for me. I don't have enough subscribers. I'm just going to take it easy. If my channel expands and gets bigger, I might be able to reduce the amount of hours I work. I'm in that position that I can. But right now, I can't reduce the amount of hours. But if I can reduce, I'll start producing more videos and releasing them. So I'm going to leave that with you guys. If you guys, well, obviously this is an opinion video, so you won't see my actual video, but if I get more subscribers and I can afford better equipment. Right now I've got an old camera and my equipment's not that great. I'm using free movie making software, so you know, if I can get funds and you guys support me, I'll be able to improve that, get better things. I'll be putting all the money towards my YouTube channel and making better videos for you guys. But until then, see you guys next video. Thanks for watching. Catch ya.